the end of the 2nd century, the world was drawing towards a time of war, as the Han Dynasty, which had ruled for centuries, lost its influence. Among the great generals, one above all shined with a powerful brilliance. His name was Cao, and he would come to be known as a hero of chaos. After unifying the north of China, Cao decided to proceed south to face Wu, who had extended its influence into the land of Jiangdong. Swept up in that momentum, the hermit Sima Yi became fascinated by Cao's genius and agreed to serve under him.
This is such a terrible bother. Someone's going to seize the mandate of heaven. This chaos must come to an end soon. And yet, Cao, a man capable of bringing Yuan Shao to his knees. Surely he can see that the Imperial Han has no future left at all.
Master Sima, watch what you say. Show respect.
I am not here with you by my own will. Ignoring such small complaints would be courteous. What a terrible bother this has turned out to be.
Let our numbers overwhelm them. Our target is soon quad. Forward!
My lord, the scouts report a strange altar near the enemy camp.
Have resorted to using magic, have they? There must be someone there casting the spell. Find him!
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Master Pang Tong, as you ordered, the ships have been chained together. But if something happens...
Do not worry. Our might will bring victory. For that victory, we need a sure place to stand.
Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies.
Think to outsmart me? Don't make me laugh.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
When the gong rings, the ships will move. Use that as a sign to attack the enemy camp. However, the enemy is sure to do the same. You must be wary while afloat.
A true warrior indeed! You will carry our honor across the land!
My lord, Zhuge Liang has ascended the altar. He appears to be intoning some kind of prayer.
The sleeping dragon? Take some troops and stop them. We shall halt their plan before it starts.
You are alone? I pay tribute to your courage.
Here it comes.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. 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 The mind shall vanquish the sword.
The plan will fail if I flee now. The fate of this battle is now in your hands.
I shall pull back for now, but next time it will not be so easy.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
You fight alone? Are you brave or a fool? Let us find out.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies.
You fight alone? Are you brave or a fool? Let us find out.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
You are as good as they say. I'll have to work a bit harder to keep up.
Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies.
Now is the time to attack! Everybody to battle!
Now, there is only one other thing for me to do.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. Here it comes. The mind shall vanquish the sword. Here it comes. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Not yet! My vision is not finished.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
The armies of Wu were nothing to fear. Let us celebrate our victory.
Just as I anticipated.
Well done, Sima Yi. I see that your abilities extend even onto the fields of battle. I'm very impressed by that.
Had it been possible, I would have preferred to do my planning from the rear looking at maps. Instead, I used another approach, since some think with their swords, not their heads.
Even they have their uses. That was not the reason that this victory was bought at such a cost. Our opponents fought well. Too well. You were very close to the battle. Did you not find that to be the case?
Too well? Indeed. Yes, I can only conclude that whoever planned this has exceptional talent.
So tell me, do you still find this chaotic world of ours to be dull?
The one behind Liu Bei, the great Zhuge Liang. What other tricks do you have in store?
Though the Battle of Chi was won, it did not result in a halt to the war. Instead, the land entered into the Three Kingdoms period, with the three great generals Cao Cao, Sun Quan, and Liu Bei each holding ground. Cao Cao posted Sima Yi, who gained great honor in the previous battle, to the front lines against Liu Bei, who had settled in Shu. Sima Yi was inspired by Cao Cao's ambition and felt something change within himself.
Foolishness! You're saying that the land can survive without the Han or the Emperor?
What good does your knowledge do you? Have you never questioned the antique structures of the past? Take a look back through our history. There are only a few instances when all the land was united under an emperor.
So it is your contention that the need for an emperor comes from the imaginations of the common man?
Men can be ruled by a guiding principle. Let that be what leads them. Then the world would truly change. Sima Yi, will you not join me in remaking this land of ours?
How interesting. I feel as if scales have fallen from my eyes.
They have taken the high ground and put us at a disadvantage. We must take Mount Chaki away from Liu Bei.
Troops of Cao Cao, watch the advantage experience can bring to a battle. Forward! I have come for your head.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Come on, old man. Are you really in that much of a hurry to die?
Your youth and inexperience are as clear as day. You should worry more about yourself.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
This one is heroic. I guess I need to pick up the pace.
Come and face me if you dare.
Wow, you're amazing. I'm gonna have to work harder.
It's too hot here. We need to go back to the base to regroup. I was beaten by a stronger warrior. Fortune smiles upon me.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Let's go crush one of those unsightly bases. Follow me. Come! Feel the weight of my spear! I shall remember you. Next time we meet, I will be the one who wins.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
My lord! Enemy reinforcements approaching!
Match for mine.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
A true warrior indeed! You will carry our honor across the land!
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
We have succeeded in taking back Mount Chaki. Now we can concentrate on attacking Shu. We shall attack Liu Bei and drive Shu out of Hong Kong. Advance on Mount Tiandong.
Let's go crush one of those unsightly bases. Follow me.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
This one is heroic. I guess I need to pick up the pace.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
You shall pull back as planned.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Forward! We must take Huang Zhong and establish Lord Liu Bei as king!
I'm going ahead. Will you come with me? Ooh, that's great! I'm gonna try that too. Watch me.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
They're even stronger than I thought! The gods have answered us. We thank you for coming to our aid.
Neither my heart nor my spear have broken. We shall meet again.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
These guys are kinda strong. Thanks for coming to help me.
That's how it's done. Inspire us all.
Time to put this space to use in realizing my strategies.
I seek a greater future. Though you may mock it, for the sake of that future I will flee.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Liu Bei is pulling out of Huang Zhong now. We have claimed victory.
Just as I anticipated.
Everything had come to a stalemate as Wei, Wu, and Shu fought back and forth. Amongst all this, Liu Bei's right hand and defender of Jing province, Guan Yu, remained a stubborn problem for both Wei and Wu. Lu Jun of Wu proposed joining forces with Wei in order to counter the threat of Guan Yu, who had become regarded as a fearsome war god. Cao accepted this proposal and sent Sima Yi to Fan Castle. With numerous schemes swirling around, a fierce ambition burned quietly in Sima Yi's soul.
Master Sima Yi, about this plan you devised, do you think that it will succeed?
Indeed, Master Cao Ren. I am not so capricious as to create a plan that is going to fail.
Then I'll fight to the last. They will pass through our lines over my dead body.
And through this battle, I will test my skill. Great warriors have gathered. I'll soon see if I can conquer all my enemies in this battle. Now, onward to Jing! I'll swallow it whole. I will measure my worth by this goal.
Do not let Guan Yu enter Fan Castle. Reinforcements will come. We must hold out until then.
My lord, the enemy is attacking the southern gate.
We're being driven back. We need to try and muster up a counterattack.
Oh, they're even stronger than I thought.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
The gods have answered us. We thank you for coming to our aid.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Your brilliant performance makes me feel alive.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
A number of Shu officers are not content with Guan Yu. When the time is right, they will join our side.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
I am so ashamed, but I am glad to pay.
I cannot follow Guan Yu anymore. I will join you.
Outsmart me? Don't make me laugh.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
I refuse to wilt in Guan Yu's shadow any longer. I now pledge my allegiance to Wei.
This one is heroic. I guess I need to pick up the pace.
Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies.
Believe your wits are a match for mine.
We must rouse ourselves for this fight!
Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies.
Head upriver and alter its course so that the water flows towards Long Castle.
That's the signal Father spoke of. The time is now!
Look! The bank! They've cut through it!
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
You fought well. I salute you.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Guan Yu has fallen. The battle is ours. Our heartfelt thanks go to Wu for their assistance.
Just as I anticipated.
Guan Yu was defeated by Sima Yi's forces, and the tension of Jing province was relaxed. Liu Bei blamed the death of Guan Yu on Wu, and led his army to Yulin. However, that battle had no great impact, and the three-way war continued. Sima Yi again returned to the battle at Huang Zhong. Before long, armies were flooding out of the Shu capital of Chengdu. If he could win here, Sima Yi would draw a step closer to realizing his dream. He was no longer the lonesome hermit he once was.
I welcome you to this distant country, Lord Cao Pi.
Sima Yi, you have gained my father's trust. But how will you manage? Huang Zhong is turbulent, is it not?
It is indeed. But I strive to be guided by the will of your father.
Yes, I see. You must polish every one of your talents, Sima Yi. In battle as well. When the chaos and my father's rule end, I will be depending on you to help me rule this country.
What arrogance. Well, I suppose the same thing might be said of me. Aiding you to help in rebuilding the land. That would be quite interesting. This fire that burns within has grown until I cannot stop it of my own will.
too must be taught a lesson. They must never again dare to set foot on this land.
You thought you could do it alone? Neither my heart nor my spear have broken. We shall meet again.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. You would try to catch us between your forces, Zhuge Liang?
Fight me now, for glory!
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. Mind shall vanquish the sword.
True to your reputation, such a display will boost the morale of our troops.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. I shall remember you. Next time we meet, I will be the one who wins. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Oh, they're even stronger than I thought!
You alone, you die!
Mind shall vanquish the sword.
Me defeated! Me retreat!
The mind shall vanquish the sword. Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies.
Learn how wrong you truly are!
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Oh, they're even stronger than I thought! Face me. The gods have answered us. We thank you for coming to our aid.
Fight me now, for glory!
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Next time will be different.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
This one is heroic. I guess I need to pick up the pace. We must rouse ourselves for this fight!
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Such skill! It awakens me! Bravo!
Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies.
You believe your wits are a match for mine?
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
I have discovered my own weakness. I must work harder to overcome it.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. Okay, beyond. Good hunters. You still play
Yes, and I have gained much from it. But you, do you not tire having to conceal your ambition all the time?
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Here it comes! True to your reputation, such a display will boost the morale. Here it comes!
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
For my friends, here it comes! For my people, for our future, I cannot lose!
We shall pull back as planned.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
I seek a greater future. Though you may mock it, for the sake of that future I will flee.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
That was easier than I imagined. Time to return home. We are victorious.
Just as I anticipated.
The long war took a toll on the people and drained the country. Wu had built up a powerful base in the land of Jiangdong, but after a fierce battle against the superior numbers and better arms of Wei, they vanished from the maps. The only enemy remaining was Shu, led by Liu Bei. Breaking camp with the strongest part of his forces, Cao Cao intercepted Liu Bei's army, which had been making repetitive advances from the Huang Zhong side. The two generals would now fight it out on the plains of Wuzhang.
The time has come. There are things that have to be decided between you and Zhuge Liang.
I haven't any interest in the likes of Zhuge Liang. Zhuge Liang, you don't possess any vision. I can see far beyond the bounds of strategies. Could you ever feel what I feel? An aching need to create a bright and glorious future of your own design?
Master Sima Yi!
I suppose there's no sense in raging at an opponent who has no passion of his own. Let's go. Shu is going to meet its fate today.
We will defeat Liu Bei and put an end to these wars. This will be the final battle. Prepare well.
You believe your wits are a match for mine?
We have received reports from all units. The Shu forces are behaving strangely.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Move swiftly, before our prey escapes.
Fight me now, for glory!
Release! For the glory of Shu and the plans of our Prime Minister, let our arrows pierce way and all who follow it! Split up the men! We'll hit the enemy archers from both sides! They seem to be reading our every move!
My lord, a number of Shu units are setting traps at various bases. We have suffered heavy losses.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Whoa, good work. Keeping up with you will be a lot of fun.
We must rouse ourselves for this fight! Thank you for your help. We barely made it through.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Fight me now, for glory!
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
The situation is dire.
Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Your efforts are dazzling. You shall see me shine as well. Yes, even brighter than now. Let us go, shall we? I would like to show you the beauty of my skills up close.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies.
Amazing! We will have to display our strength as well!
Face it, I challenge you!
The enemy is very strong! We are being forced back!
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Why did I lose to you?
The mind shall vanquish the sword. Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies.
Now that's how it's done. Inspire us all.
Forward! Take no prisoners!
That was close. Thank you for aiding us.
I challenge you.
We may not be able to make it through this.
I was prepared for this possibility.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies.
True to your reputation, such a display will boost the morale of our troops.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Holding territory is fundamental to waging war. We must attack the enemy base and take it for ourselves!
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Now is the time. Have the reserve troops attack the enemy main camp.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Fight me now, for glory!
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
We must rouse ourselves for this fight! The enemy is very strong. We are being forced back.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Fight me now, for glory!
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
We must rouse ourselves for this fight!
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
outsmart me. Here it comes. Don't make me laugh.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Faith can sometimes be cruel, can it not?
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Amazing! We will have to display our strength as well!
For my friends, for my people, for our future, I cannot lose.
I trusted that you would come. I appreciate your assistance. Now that's how it's done. You inspire us all. Halt the advance. We must wait for the others before we can proceed.
Well done. I have enjoyed watching you fight.
We are in a most difficult spot. We are in a most difficult spot.
come.
I have lost. Then I beg you, bring peace to the people. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Oh, Liu Bei, I shall guide the land where it must go. Everybody, the land has long been in chaos, but we have freed it. Victory is ours.
Just as I anticipated. My lord, I offer my congratulations.
We have conquered the enemies that stood in the path of our ultimate victory.
Yes. However, some chaos still lingers. It will take time to dissipate.
There are certain to be those who are not prepared to follow where I would lead them. Sima Yi, you'll be responsible for the West, and you are also to protect Huang Zhong.
As my lord commands.
Liu Bei fell at Wuzhang Plains. The period of the Three Kingdoms had been brought to a conclusion by the hand of Cao Cao. Now, everyone envisioned this new age opening up under him. However, the fighting was not at an end. There was one man quietly awaiting his chance to come. A man whose skill was recognized by Cao Cao and polished over many battles. Sima Yi rose to make his move, to stand as the final victor.
It's as I thought. I had the feeling this would happen, that you would turn against our Lord.
Oh? That's interesting. Have you decided what you'll do?
I have dedicated my entire life to the service of beauty. And I find beauty, Sima Yi, in the way that you fight. I am prepared to serve you. Now, let us hear about the beautiful plan you have made.
And what is your choice? Well, if any of you decided you'd prefer to part company with me, then observe the only path you'll be taking. To victory! I'll rule this land. It will be held by the one who's worthy to reach out and grasp it. The master of a new age must be strong. Let's move. I must seize my destiny. I remember the days I used to pass this gate. Tear it down. Full of surprises. Not that I would have expected anything less from you.
You think to win alone? Learn how wrong you truly are!
The mind shall vanquish the sword. Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies. Vanquish the sword. We have passed the first stage. Now forward, through the gate, and into the enemy.
Beaten in battle. Have no regrets.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. So this is the final game. A new age awaits us on the other side. We must break through. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
You have beaten me. Then I leave the fate of this land with you.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Well, forgive me then, my fair city. This must be done to vanquish the chaos. For that greater purpose, let these flames raise your fair walls.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Amazing! we will have to display our strength as well.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
Now that's how it's done. You inspire us all.
Fate of a warrior to test himself against those stronger than him. Master Zhao, I challenge you.
And for this you join Sima Yi? To Huang. I know not whether to praise your determination or laugh foolish.
There you are! Welcome to your graves!
Ignore them. They are of no relevance. Forward!
You have come too far. I cannot lose to an idiot like you.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. Time to put this base to use in realizing my strategies.
Father, has one of your dogs broken its leash? You wretched ingrates. I shall punish you.
By yourself. You appear to have underestimated me. Now die! Wait, I can't lose. I just can't.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
You think to outsmart me? Don't make me laugh.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. This is the final stage of the battle. Find Cao Cao. Bring down this so-called hero of chaos. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
None can stand against you!
Alone, you amuse me greatly.
The mind shall vanquish the sword.
That's enough! You will go no further!
You would bear the weight of a new age, Sima Yi. Let us see if you are worthy.
If I'm worthy, who gives you the right? I shall overcome your pride and make this world my own. The mind shall vanquish the sword. The mind shall vanquish the sword. Still worthless. The mind shall vanquish the sword.
I don't want to die.
The mind shall vanquish the sword. Here it comes.
You believe your wits are a match for mine?
The mind shall vanquish your soul.
Amazing! We will have to display our strength as well!
So, it's not me. I trust you. That means
The mind shall vanquish the sword. You are the one that showed me this path. I thank you. Now farewell. Just as I anticipated.
Was I nothing more than a means to an end? A doorway by which your talent and ambition could pass, take shape and reach into the land? Then, that is as it must be too. Sima Yi, you must heed my final order. Build a world such as none ever seen before.
Appropriately arrogant to the end. And yet, I shall remember this admonishment of yours, without fail. I shall create a world, one that is magnificent. A world that you could never have conceived of.
We have silenced most of the rebels. The chaos is nearly over, isn't it, Father? And now the Sima family can rule a peaceful land.
Are you a fool? Zhao, have you learned nothing from your time with me on the battlefield? Being my child, the fact that we share the same bloodline, doesn't make you worthy to rule. You must refine yourself, master your talent, make yourself worthy of governing this land. One who would rule all others must soar higher than those he would rule. Is that not so, my lord Cao Cao?